Another name for God is El Nekuma. It means God of all comfort. Can you say that with me? El Nekuma, God of all comfort.
Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies and the God of all comfort. And that's in 2 Corinthians 1:3.
This story comes from the book of Ruth. Ruth, from the land of Moab, stood on the dusty road near her mother-in-law, Naomi, an Israelite. Their husbands had died, and Naomi was going back to her home in Bethlehem. "I want to go with you," Ruth said. "Where you go, I will go. Where you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." Naomi saw that Ruth was determined to go with her, so the two of them walked to Bethlehem together. But when they arrived, Naomi told people, "Don't call me Naomi anymore, call me Mara. I was happy when I left, but now I am coming back sad." Because the women were poor and had no husbands or sons to provide for them, Ruth went out to the barley field to pick up grain that fell to the ground as the barley was harvested. She worked in the field that belonged to a man named Boaz. Boaz noticed Ruth working hard. "Who is that young woman?" he asked his servant. "Her name is Ruth," the servant said. "She is from Moab. She came to Bethlehem with Naomi." Boaz went to Ruth and said, "I've heard how kind you have been to Naomi and how you have helped her. You may always work in my field, and no one will bother you. You will have plenty of grain for Naomi and yourself." When Ruth went back to Naomi's house that day, she told Naomi about meeting Boaz. "God has remembered me," Naomi said. "Boaz is a relative. God is taking care of both of us." After the barley harvest came the wheat harvest. Ruth worked in Boaz's field every day. At the end of the wheat harvest, Naomi said, "It's time for you to marry again, Ruth." Naomi had an idea about who Ruth's new husband would be, and Naomi was right. Soon Boaz and Ruth were married, and then they had a baby boy and named him Obed. Naomi laughed with joy. She loved baby Obed and took care of him. The women of Bethlehem told Naomi, "God is so good. He has given you a new life and a wonderful daughter-in-law to look after you, and now he has given you a grandson." When Obed grew up, he had a son named Jesse. And when Jesse grew up, he became the father of Israel's great King David. God helps us when we feel sad.